out that crust of mine, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this aside. I was going to do the filling, but then I decided, well, I better do the crust first. So let's put this aside real quick, and let's make that baby. And what I'm going to use, this is a little different. So I'm going to get a cloth. Yes. Get a cloth and then just go ahead and so I have a couple things I want to do on video. So my crust is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and when my broccoli's done, it was steamed. I took it apart and I put it in the freezer real quick so it can cool down really quick. And what I'm going to do, and that's ready to go. So it's been in there for about a good 15 minutes. So I'm going to flour my towel here. And then I'll go ahead and roll that out. You can use the plastic over it to roll it out, that's fine. But I want to roll that out quickly and gently so it can go in the oven while I'm making, and I'm going to blind bake that for about good 8 to 10 minutes. Oh, don't mess with the baker. I'm sure they have machines now that can put out crust like no one's business, but there's nothing like a homemade quiche. And when you go to a restaurant that has a quiche and they make everything from scratch, there's nothing like it. It's like a home cooked meal. Okay, so I'm going to take my pie pan and then put it over. I think I've shown you this technique before. Gotta roll it out. Yeah, this is going to be like a thick crust. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and press that in there. Yeah. So I've watched a lot of bakers, real good bakers in my life. And plus I went to school and and then I did this baking class because I was actually kicked out of the back of the house because I ran out because I wasn't used to chefs yelling at people, and I was already an adult and I'd already been going through some stuff, so personal stuff, and I mean, but that's chefs, you know. Sometimes they yell. I did. When I was stressed, I started yelling, and so don't feel bad if you lose it. But I know people aren't used to that. And that's what happens when you're a cook or a chef. And I'll be trying to do frivolous lawsuits. If it's too hot in the kitchen, then stay out of the kitchen. I ran out of the kitchen. I wasn't used to it. But I picked up my boot straps and I went right back in the following semester, and I said, I got to do this. So, as hard as it was, I had to do it. So, wasn't used to getting yelled at. I got yelled at. I washed my hands too much. Didn't wash them enough. There's a lot of reasons why I got yelled at. So, I mean, but if your executive chef is telling you, you know, he wants you to pay attention. I was just so I was so nervous. It was a nervous time for me. And aren't these cool? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that over. I mean, you don't have to do this. Yeah. I mean, Ramsay yells. Yeah. Some people don't like, they can't handle being yelled at. I can and I can't. You know? So, I mean, I try. But I made it through, and that was such a blessing for me, because I was able to make it. Now, I don't know you, and you yell at me. I don't know what I guess I would be upset. And I've yelled too, so. Not intentionally, but sometimes there's a sense of frustration that comes up, and it's like, and I get it, you know, when Ramsay, he starts yelling at people. I mean, what is this? Sometimes people aren't listening. They need a wake-up call. And that's happened to me, where I needed, you know, someone to wake me up. Like, wake up, lady! So I'm going to go ahead and pinch the sides. And sometimes I don't like, sometimes it just depends on what day it is, how the wind is moving. And you get really you're sensitive, you're having a sensitive day, you're having an emotional day, and you're having, and sometimes kitchens, when you have certain scents, someone's cooking something, a food memory may come up. And all of a sudden you'll start to cry, because you'll start thinking about your grandma or your grandfather or whoever, your aunt, your great aunt was cooking, and you know, and you miss them. So, I mean, that happens to me. So, anyways, okay. So, there it is. My pie crust is ready to go in. Let's stick that all in there. I'm going to take my parchment paper, cut out, okay? And I'm going to put some beans. These will last forever. So just load them up with the beans to weigh it down. You don't have to buy those weights. If you want to buy those weights, go for it. But you really don't. You just need some beans. Any kind of bean will do. As long as it's dry, uncooked beans, you can use them as weight. So, and it get a little smelly, but it's not going to be that bad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put that in the middle rack, and then I have something underneath there. Usually I'll double pan it. I'll double pan it when I put it in the second time, and then I'll get my little timer to make sure I don't over bake it. I'm going to put it in for 10 minutes. Okay, so let's put this aside. Oh, this is used now. Let's put this aside. Okay, put that aside. Put the rolling pin aside. Put the fork, the rolling pin aside. And sous chefs usually help. They take from the chef. So they're over there, right up, they're the chef's right arm. And it's nice to have a sous chef. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on because I'm going to saute my onions. And the reason why I want to saute my onion, where is my nice clean onion that I specifically put aside? Ah, there it is. The reason why I want to saute this onion is because you can grate it. You can grate the onion into, that's another option. But I kind of want those caramelized onions in my quiche. So I'm going to go ahead and julienne them. Not used to these knives. green onions. And this, oh, I love it when they're like this and they're freshly picked. And if you know the farmer, I ran out of cash and they said, I owe you. So I was like, yay. So I got to remember to take the money back. It was only $1, I think $1 or $1.50. Not too sure. But okay, so I have that on. I'm going to put some grapeseed oil in there. That's what I'm going to use. And just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just a little. Because I like the flavor of the extra virgin olive oil. And these onions are going to be yummy. Because they're going to have to cool down. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt so that they can hurry up and caramelize or, you know, saute. And they don't have to be caramelized, but I think I want them like wilted enough to stick in the quiche. Okay, now let me get my eggs out. I'm going to use eggs and egg whites. About 4, usually about 6 eggs, 5 to 6 eggs, depending on how big your eggs are. And then I'm going to use then I'm going to use some egg white, which I have here. And this is organic, USDA organic. Pour some of that in there. I'm going to add some milk in there. And I'm going to add just a little bit of Chardonnay. And that. And I put some, I'm going to season my eggs. Now, if you want to, you can saute some bacon, you can saute a little bit of, that's pepper, just a nice pinch. You can saute some bacon and add that to it. But I'm going to make this strictly vegetarian. I'm going to see if this whisk, this is the first time I've used this whisk. This is like different than any whisk that I've ever used. Hey, pretty cool. These were a gift for Christmas. So these are like toys for me. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add to that, oh yeah, that's nice. I'm happy. Some cotija, I'm sorry, cotija cheese. And you could use like feta cheese would be good. Want to, you could put some feta cheese in it. I'm just going to crumble up some of this cheese in there. Yum. And it's pretty salty, so that's why I didn't put too much salt in there. Yeah. That's probably about a couple tablespoons in there. Mix that up. I add a little bit more. Probably 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon, so I'm probably going to add another. This might be a 3-part because, yeah. Because I'm going to add some more. Oh, yeah. You could add cheddar cheese in there, Gruyere cheese, pretty much any kind of cheese, mozzarella. Now I'm going to add, oh, those onions are looking really good. I'm going to add my chunks of broccoli in there. add some bay leaves. I want to get my older bay leaf here, because I went to the store and I bought some new bay leaves, and I want to get the ones that I bought before that. These got like flowers on them. So I just pull these bay leaves off like so. And some, you can tear them up or you can cut them up. But I kind of want them small pieces, because these bay leaves that I've been buying are strong. I kept asking, what kind are they? They weren't tied, they were just strong bay leaves. Okay, so. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, I turned that off. I'm going to slice some mushrooms. Yep, I'm going to put mushrooms in this quiche. Who doesn't like mushrooms in their quiche? Right now, wow. I'm just going to add them, lightly sear them. Maybe a couple would be fine. Okay. Turn it on just a little bit more. Come on. What's so hot? And I'm going to add that into the eggs. You want to make sure you don't cook the eggs. They had a little bit of arugula in the refrigerator. You can add chard, you can add some spinach, but I have arugula, so I'm going to go ahead and add that into that. So, actually I have, this is going to be like really earthy because of the herbs, and then I have some flat leaf parsley. I'm not going to add all of this. I want to put